During the course of your studies, you may be asked to create a literature review. We'll discuss the elements of a literature review and how to write your own. A literature review is an examination of the available literature and research on a topic. This can include journal articles, books, dissertations, conference proceedings, all of which discuss the same topic. The literature review presents an overview of what others have said about the topic. Despite the similar name, a literature review is not the same as a book review, nor is it a mere bibliography of existing research. When you're conducting your own literature review, there are roughly 6 steps you'll want to follow. First, you must determine whether a literature review is necessary. You might have been assigned a literature review, but other times you'll want to conduct a review of the existing research on your topic. Before forming your own research question, you'll need to do some research. Once you've been assigned a review or determined one is necessary, it's time to establish the parameters of your research. There may be extensive research conducted on your topic. That doesn't mean it's not a great topic, but you will need to focus on a certain aspect, so you aren't overwhelmed by the amount of research. You'll also want to select keywords that are most relevant to your research parameters, which you can use to search in our library databases. Next is where the library comes in. For a more in-depth exploration of searching in library databases, be sure to watch the How to Use Keywords in Databases tutorial, also available on the Shea Library YouTube page. Education students will also want to watch the How to Search in ERIC tutorial, and students in health sciences can learn more about CINAHL Complete in the How to Search CINAHL Complete video. Once you've identified articles, books, and other resources for your review, you can begin to read through the abstracts of each article and organize these resources according to their relevance. How you organize your research is up to you, although we recommend compiling articles and books into piles according to their relevance. Some articles will be absolutely relevant to your research question, but you may discover some have little or nothing to do with your topic. We also recommend starting with a large number of resources, 2 to 3 times the number of articles or books your assignment requires. As you read through each resource, you want to critically evaluate it. Things you'll want to examine include the scope of the study and topic, its purpose, the evidence the authors provide for their findings, the strengths and weaknesses of each study, and what new questions the findings present. After all, one of the purposes of a literature review is to determine what has already been studied and what new research should be conducted. Now you should be ready to write your literature review, which will provide an overview and a critique of the available research on your topic. A literature review should include an introduction, a discussion of each concept, principle, theory, and model related to the topic, and a review and appraisal of the works you have included. Once you've established what's already been written on your topic, it's time to present what your research question will be, how it fits into the larger body of research on the topic, and a justification for the study you intend to conduct. One booklet may be helpful to you as you conduct your research review is DuPuy and Gitlin's Introduction to Research. Additionally, the Purdue OWL has a guide to organizing and writing a literature review.
If you have questions, email us at shea.library@aic.edu.